let's get to commandment number 3. This is the third commandment of free will. And here it is. Vengeance is the same as revenge, is the same as justice. Now you're looking at me going, now I know you're nuts. You're insane. How can you say that? Again, hold on. Let me prove it to you. I repeat, vengeance is the same as justice, is the same as revenge. They're all the same thing. When someone hurts you, when someone destroys you, when someone injures you, your first reaction, your impulsive reaction, is for revenge, is for vengeance. And then you say, we've created rules and regulation in society. Why do we have rules and laws? For active will. We're actively, willfully trying to control all these craziness in life. So then you say, wait a minute. No, instead of having vengeance or revenge, we're going to have justice. Well, guess what? In our world today, justice is no different than vengeance and revenge. It is still your will, your impulse, your emotional impulse to whatever happened in your life. What you're doing, you're still allowing that event to destroy you, to crush you. Now, like I said before, we can absolutely control our emotions. So when someone hurts you, let's make it clear. Let's make an example. Somebody kills your mother. If someone kills your own mother, you want to destroy them. You want to retaliate. You want revenge. You want vengeance. You want to watch a kung fu movie about how some guy, his family got killed and he learned kung fu and he learned how to chop things with his arms and he goes out in the world and kills everybody because he wants his vengeance. And then after he killed everybody, what does he do? He fucking stabs himself because he's miserable. And that's the problem. Once you have your vengeance, once you have your revenge, what are you left with? Your own sadness and misery. You're left with nothing. You lost your mother, she's dead, you went out, committed murder, killed a bunch of people, and everybody's dead. So what the hell did you achieve? Nothing. You've relieved that frustration in the moment of vengeance. In the moment when you were the angriest, you relieved that emotion. Okay, fine. You could have done that on a punching bag. You could have beaten up that wooden kung fu thingy and then gotten your aggression out. But no, you went out and killed a bunch of people, and now, where you are, right back at number 1. Your mother's dead, other fathers, sons, mothers are dead, and you're still miserable. That's why vengeance doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Then we have justice. Justice is a slight improvement, but in the end it's the same thing. You find a guy, you put him to a trial, you put him in prison, he rots in prison, he feels miserable, and you feel a little bit of satisfaction that he's getting punished, but your mother's still dead. You're still impulsively being torn up by your loss. You're still broken about what happened. Now, think if you had the power, the active, the willful action, the willful power to, let's say, take the murderer of your mother. If you took the murderer of your mother, the guy who killed your mom, and put him in a prison, but not in a traditional prison like we have now. A prison that is essentially a university. And he goes to school and he learns philosophy, psychology. He learns why he killed. Now, maybe he's a complete sociopath and he can never be cured. But maybe he's not. So if he learns and he does and he realizes the mistake that he made and the horrible thing that he did in killing your mother, and after that education, he sincerely tells you, you know what I did was wrong. I hurt your mother, I hurt your family, I destroyed you. Can you ever forgive me? Can you imagine, under that circumstance, could you forgive him? If you can't, then you will forever be impulsively reacting to that event. That event happened. You cannot go back and change it. It's like birth. It's like death. It happened. You cannot change it. It will affect you if you let it. If you impulsively react to an event with vengeance, with hate, with retribution, no matter what the killer does, if he dies, if he explodes, if he's raped, whatever happens to the killer in prison, you will always suffer. You will always be depressed. You will always be in pain. And if you go on a retribution, kung fu action, violence, retaliation situation, you will just make your life worse. So what do? You get justice. But still, that doesn't satisfy you. You're still broken. You're still lost. You still suffered. But if you could reverse the situation, if you could help that guy through, like I said, through education, through philosophy, to attain, to figure out that what he did was wrong, and then if he could then imbue that upon his children, if he has them, or spread the word of the horrible thing he did, and change a little bit of the world by making it better, by him admitting what I did was wrong, I was driven by animal impulses, let's change our world, let's not behave this way, because now I get why I did what I did. Wouldn't that actually feel a little bit better? Wouldn't that just create more calmness, and that would take willful action. It will need the willful action of you going to your mother's killer and setting up a situation where he can get educated about what he did instead of being tortured and vengefully punished for what he did. That is a complicated issue that I know a lot of you won't agree with, and that's okay. It will take time. But my point is that when vengeance, revenge, even justice are just still emotional, impulsive reactions to a horrible thing that happened in the world. And the thing is, what if your mother got killed by lightning? Are you going to be mad at lightning forever? See, we humans have a tendency to be way more mad at other human beings than nature. Because we say, well, you can't control nature. So if your mom gets hit by lightning and she's dropped dead, you're going to feel bad about it, but you're not going to be angry at lightning. You're not going to go out there and want your vengeance against lightning. Goddamn lightning, I'm going to come after you and I'm going to hurt you. You don't do that. Why? Because you'd be insane if you do that. But it comes the same with humans. You need to learn that it doesn't matter whether a human or lightning kills your mother. In the end, you're going to react impulsively to that horrible emotional event in your life. And if you get trapped in that emotional impulsion, you become depressed, you become broken, and you become vengeful, hateful, and just your life is ruined. So what happens is, something happens outside of your control, and you end up paying the price for it by completely losing your sanity. Because you are impulsively reacting to the world. This is why it's so important to willfully act in the world and not allow